I'm going to share with you today how I'm going to be planning for the next 10 weeks of school before our break for Christmas. My name is Tiffany and this is Hint Life Homeschool. My channel is all about motherhood, homeschooling and organisation. So if those are things that you're interested in, I would love for you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video. It is crazy that we're even talking about Christmas. I don't know. I don't know how this year has gone so fast. It feels like that time is just going faster at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on with this year. It's been a really strange year. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. But let's just focus on all the good things to look forward to. We have Christmas coming up. This next 10 weeks of work is going to be our last for this year, for 2021. So I really want to make it special. And I also am very mindful of the fact that last year I fell into a really bad sort of rabbit wheel of school and festive activities, and it just didn't work. So I'm taking from last year's lessons and remembering that I have the ability to plan and prevent those kinds of things from happening. And what I mean by that, I mean that I'm about to plan the next 10 weeks worth of work in terms of getting it into my digital planner. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my usual sort of planning and setting myself up. But I'm also going to add a few things in. So last year I learned that with that Christmas period and, Halloween and all of these kinds of things that are in that 10-week block, I just found that I was adding those things on top of our already very busy schedule, and I ended up burning myself out. I was just exhausted by the time Christmas actually came around, when we were supposed to have our 6 weeks worth of, break. I was just recovering. This next 10 weeks worth of work is kind of going to be focusing on Halloween first. My kids love Halloween. I know some Australians don't celebrate it, and that's totally okay, but it's just another thing to show their creativity. Isaac loves hand making his costumes. He loves getting dressed up. Riley loves getting dressed up. So it's just something that brings us joy. So there are a lot of things going on in the next couple of months, lots of things. So I have to prepare for those things, and I really want to think right now in my planning mode before all of the busyness starts back up again, our co-op, our running around, all of our appointments and things that we've got going on. I need to be able to prepare now, so then everything can just run a little smoother when we're actually in the action. Because when we're busy, it's just, you think, oh, I'll just do it later, but it doesn't happen, or you leave it to the last minute and then it becomes really, really stressful. And that is me right now preventing that from happening. So I'm starting my planning for Christmas presents. I'm starting my planning for all of the fun, festive things that we might want to do. And I'm also throwing in, because I've wanted to do this for quite some time, I'm throwing in a summer bucket list, and we're starting that. I know it's spring, but we're starting that now. So I'm super excited about that. So the kids can just use a whiteboard marker and tick over the on the actual frame. So that is something that we're going to be doing too. So I'm setting that up, and that is going to be so much fun. I'm also putting that into Freely so I can do a little bit of research on some of those more ambitious bucket list items that I might need to actually research and figure out how we're going to do that, and where, and like tickets and all that sort of stuff. So I'm putting it all into Freely, so then that way it's on my radar that I can kind of, action as we go, and we can just kind of work out which one would work best when. That is pretty much what I've got planned for the video today. So let's get stuck into it. So to just save a little bit of my sanity and a little bit of my time, I have decided to purchase a curriculum in order to guide me through some of the festivities that we kind of want to incorporate, and we want to learn more about the kids have actually asked that we learn more about what everybody celebrates, not just what we celebrate, what everybody celebrates all around the world. We're learning Spanish at the moment, and I think that's actually getting them to really think a bit more. And with our Tasty Geography Fridays, if you haven't seen that, I've got a video on that. It's really opened their eyes to just how different things can be. And they're loving that, and they want to know, you know, what are things that are special to other people? What dates are they? When are they? How does that all work? And I just wanted a guide for that because I just don't have the time to be searching that information like I usually do. And I just thought, you know what? It's a busy period right now. I'm going to outsource what I can at the moment. And so I found a great curriculum with Waldock Way. She has a great curriculum, which is just really simple, really matter of fact, kind of to the point, and giving some links to Pinterest activities, which the kids love, all their craft activities. They just love them. So it'll give us a really good guide on what we're going to be celebrating over the next couple of weeks. And we'll probably replace that with the history that we've shelved. And we'll also probably kind of mix around our Tasty Geography as well, because it's got cooking in it. So we might shelf our Tasty Geography. Although we love it, we're still going to be kind of covering it in this Waldock Way curriculum anyway. And we can pick that back up in January once, you know, things have settled down a little bit. And then there's still some stuff to cover in Waldock Way with the festivities around the world. But it's not quite as intense during that, you know, that Christmas period. Everyone, you know, in other countries have different things going on, different celebrations. But then it kind of, you know, spreads out a little bit, and it's like Valentine's Day and all of those other things throughout the year. It's just a little bit of a sprinkling. So I think it's going to work really well. I think it's going to be something that is going to teach me a few things as well, because I'm sad to say that I don't know a lot about of what other people celebrate. So I think it'd be really great to learn that culture and the differences that we all have, and be able to respect that as well. So I'm looking forward to learning it too. That's the best thing about homeschooling, right? Is that we all learn together. And the kids know that. It's not me just telling them what it is. It's that we're all questioning all the same things and trying to understand it together. So I've gone ahead and I have put all of our lessons into Freely for the next 10 weeks and what we're doing. This is the time where I start to get really excited, because I start to see, you know, how our weeks are going to look, what kind of things we're going to be spending our time on, and it gets really exciting. Okay, so we've got 10 weeks worth of work into Freely now. I'm going to give you a brief kind of overview of how I've gone about that, what they look like, and just kind of what we've got going on. So we've got Holidays Around the World, which is that new curriculum from Waldock Way. We've got Language Arts Blossom and Root, which we do pretty much daily within the school week. The language arts is amazing. So I've got the PDF teacher guide in here, and we have our student notebooks. If you've seen my videos before, we've got our student notebooks that we work in. And I like to have, so I've created these lists. These lists are never going to be assigned to anyone. They're not a lesson. These are literally just running notes of what movies would work for the themes within the curriculum. These are lists that have been supplied by Blossom and Root, and I use them as a reference. I've also got library books, so additional books that we don't own. I've got a list of those that I can reference every Sunday when I do my planning. I've also got a supplies list, so that's for our secret notebook projects. They're like little just language arts projects and things like that. Okay, so you can see here I've got 2 geography lessons. These were from a few weeks ago when we actually had other plans. So these are just sitting here waiting for whenever we get a spare moment, we can just do these lessons. No big deal. We'll get to them when we can. And so now it actually shows what we've got going for the next 10 weeks. This is 10 weeks worth of work for us. Some will, you know, not get done. That's okay. That's not really what I'm about. I'm just about having them there ready to go. So all of the work is already done, and all of the prep is already done. So I'm organized, so we can do them should we wish to. So With the lesson structure, so obviously I've got the PDF. I open up the PDF when I'm doing a lesson. I have the links already in here, ready to go. This is the link to the page for that particular lesson, which is lesson 9 or week 9, lesson 1. And the book that we're reading is Echo Mountain. So we do our reading. These are just my points that I put in. They're just a point of reference of what we're going to do first and how we're going to do it. So we've got reading, then we've got the journal prompt, and then we're going to begin a literature project. So I've also gone ahead and created a literature project a little bit further down. So it was just most of the beginning of that literature project is just discussion and ideas. Here, I've gone ahead and I've created a link to Pinterest, which is all clickable. So I just felt like we needed a few pictures for reference because my kids are very visual learners and they really like to get inspired visually. They like to see what they could create or ideas of what they could create. And we didn't really have a huge amount of pictures in the teacher guide. So I went ahead and I found something that was very similar to the instructions in the teacher guide. So we have that as a point of reference. And I've just gone ahead and created that link within that lesson so I can click on it and show the kids what she's talking about, what the curriculum is telling us to do. So that is language arts, and I'm super pumped. We're loving Blossom and Root, so that is just a no-brainer for us to do that. We've got our nature study, which is also part of our science. So we kind of alternate nature study along with our actual science, which is physics and engineering. We were doing both each week, but I found it too much. Because this physics and engineering is really hands-on, very heavy on the experiments. I just found that I was getting a little bit overwhelmed with it all. So we're alternating them and we've found our balance now. So that's what we're doing. So you can see that I've got a library reservation list. There's lots of books for science. I've got a to purchase list as well. That is a running list. I always add to it as I'm entering my lessons. If I see something that I may want to purchase, I don't always do it. Sometimes I find things that I have around the house already that we can use, but it is in my mind. I'm on top of it. I know that there's no unpleasant surprises. So with the science, there are 2 PDFs with Blossom and Root. So we've actually got our just kind of our teacher guide, and then we've got the laboratory guide, which is all of the experiments, and there are lots of experiments and there's multiple experiments for each lesson. So the idea is you're not doing all those experiments, you have to actually choose one. So I go ahead and I actually take the time to choose which experiment we're going to do with the kind of supplies that we have and what works for us time-wise that week, rather than kind of just umming and ahhing then and there, because my children are very indecisive and they probably I think that they would prefer me to just choose and for us to do them because they love any experiments. So for now, that's working so far. So we have our notebook, and then I've got down here supplies needed, box of rocks and cart. I already knew that we have those things, so it's just a matter of me going ahead and grabbing them for on the Sunday when I allocate the date for that lesson. So that is literally kind of the layout of all of the experiments and lessons, and we have profiles in science as well. I link YouTube videos that I've already watched and made sure that they're appropriate, and I'm happy with my children watching those things first. And it's just easy because it's so clickable, and we are super efficient with getting our lessons done, and we enjoy it because it's just easy. Everything is already done for us. So we have our super secret notebook. We've got our Simply Charlotte Mason math. So our Rightstart Math is literally the only teacher guide that I don't have as a PDF. So I've got it right beside me because I did just enter these lessons in. So this is the teacher guide. It's huge. I would not want to have all these as teacher guides because it's just too much. But for Rightstart, this is fine. And I'll just show you what it looks like. So Rightstart's fantastic because it has all the lessons numbered, and it's got a really good, clear title of saying what my children are going to be learning in math. So this is my son's math for Rightstart. And so what I do is I actually go ahead and I put in what we're going to be learning And then I also have a running list of the materials that I need for every single lesson. There's always something that I need. Rightstart is a very hands-on math curriculum. It has a lot of manipulatives, a lot of moving parts, a lot of appendix sheets, things that I need to laminate or cut out and have ready. So for me, this works really well. Every Sunday when I allocate, I usually do 3 or 4 of these math lessons a week with my kids each. So when I do allocate them, I look through these and I make sure that I have them ready for the week. So for example, the math balance is huge. That always sits at our desk. So that's a no-brainer. That's easy. It's already there. But for the math card games, there are multiple math card games, and I know I need to find that particular one. And I would put that on my cart, on my actual homeschool cart. Same with the appendix pages as well. I have them sitting in our folder, in our homeschool folder system. So I would grab that one out and put it on the cart just to make things a little bit easier for myself. The abacus already lives on our cart, so that's fine. So, but that's just kind of talking you through how I go about, making these lessons really efficient so we do get a lot done. And it just makes it so much more enjoyable. Also, there are a couple of great things with Rightstart that are happening where they've created lessons to talk you through the actual card games, because I was finding that quite frustrating, having to learn to play a card game. With my children, they were getting frustrated while I was trying to figure out the instructions. They actually have it as a YouTube, because I'm a very visual learner as well myself. So I hate reading instructions particularly for games. I like seeing the game being played. So this just makes it a lot easier for me. This is a card game that we haven't played before, so I decided to include the link for that to the YouTube channel. All I need to do on my Sunday now is live in this area here, which is my week. So my week is all about having an idea of our routine. What categories or what subjects would I be happy doing if we got them done? What does that look like? And that is basically what I've done here, is our skeleton of our week. And this just allows me to really see what we're getting done, what I feel good about doing. I know on Mondays we do English and math. On Tuesdays we don't get school done. We do school at co-op. We don't need to do any extra than that. That is enough, especially right now. And then on Wednesdays we do English and science. We usually do a little bit of math, but I've dropped that for now, and we can always add that in as an extra, because the science lessons lately have been really taking hold of our day, and the kids usually really run with it. And a lot of math is already in science too, so I kind of let them go with that and we just see how we go. But then English and math on Thursday, and usually we do 2 or 3 lessons with math on Thursdays. Then we've got our tasty geography, our Spanish, or our, we're going to be doing our festivities around the world as well. So that just kind of allows you to see how I go about doing that. And then when I click on that category, I know that I can go through and I can check, which one do I want to be doing? Okay, I want to be doing Rightstart, and the Rightstart lessons are here. So I just click on the next Rightstart lesson, and then I go schedule for Monday, and it is done. So there you have it. I'm feeling a lot more ready and excited about the next 10 weeks worth of work. Of course, I'll still have my Sunday check-ins where I go in and I allocate the work and all of that. I just print out 10 weeks worth of work. So we have actually finished that. We're on to our next book. Then I've adjusted my routine, feeling a lot better about that as well. And I've put my order in for, we need some more ink. So I ordered that, and I have ordered a couple of other things that are going to make life a little bit easier as well. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you soon. I'm really excited about this next 10 weeks worth of, school and leading up to Christmas, and things are getting exciting. I feel like planning for me is like self-care. It really is kind of allowing me to get all of the stuff out of my head and achievable. Like, there have been so many times where I've thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice to do this? Wouldn't it be nice to do that? And then before I know it, the time has actually arrived and I haven't actioned anything. I've done lots of thoughtful thoughts, but thoughtful thoughts don't get you anywhere, right? Like you have to put, at some point, you have to put that thought to action. And this is me and how I do that. And I hope that maybe it might inspire you to think about ways that, you know, we're all different. We all take different approaches to executing our plans and our hopes and our dreams. But I think what I'm trying to say is that you know, I'm tired of just thinking about what would be nice. I want to start being more purposeful with my time and really actioning those things. So I'm hoping that maybe if you're feeling that way too, you might feel inspired to do so as well with me. And share with me, let me know what your sort of hopes and dreams for the next 10 weeks or leading up to Christmas. What do you do? What are some of your traditions? Some of the things that you really love to do with your family that you always do every year? I love hearing about tradition. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love sharing with you all of my planning strategies and my hopes and dreams and ideas for achieving great things in our homeschool. If you enjoyed the video, I would really love to hear that. I would love to hear what you enjoy watching. Please like it or hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.